Recording. Go sit down. Well, I'll edit the front part out, or maybe I'll leave it because it's entertaining.
I can shorten it.
Oh, make sure I'm sitting right. Yeah, we're not editing this out. We're leaving it.
You leaving that? Okay.
You okay with that? In case you're wondering, the producer's back. He wasn't here last week for Hio. He's back. Producer Slaw Dog.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all good.
All right. All right. Welcome into Off the Cleat again, right, guys? Here we are. We're on a good evening hanging out here, and I actually got the Auburn basketball game. I'll record this on Sunday night. Chris is over there on that side. Again, he missed 1 week, and here he is again. He's always back. He's going to be turning watching the game. He may yell. Don't be yelling and cussing. We all hope Auburn loses. All of them got their butt kicked yesterday. So, Auburn's up by 10 right now, I think. So, second half. So, we're recording this on Sunday night. My guest this week is none other than Luke Ondus, powered by Luke. He's
the decent mechanic on the way.
Decent, marginally decent. He may talk a lot during this. We'll see. So,
probably not.
Obviously, here we're back to this. We got a guest this week. Next Saturday, you'll see this on Thursday. We're recording right now. Next Saturday, we'll be at Layport selling tickets for the boat giveaway. We had pictures this week posted of the boat. Hope everybody liked that. Chris actually went and took them. Appreciate him doing that. So the pictures are up for the boat giveaway. We'll have the boat there Saturday. You'll be able to check it out and look at it and buy tickets. So make sure you try to come out and do that and get a good burger there. They got probably the best burgers on the lake. That's not a cowboy burger. Cowboy burger and then that burger. They're both great. They're different though.
We need to have a contest. Wouldn't that be great?
They're different burgers though.
They're completely different burgers. What do you like better, apple or an orange?
What we do, we could buy two, cut them in half, and split halves and share.
Oh God, you're on to something.
Now we're on to an idea.
You're on to something.
Waxahachie has the best burgers on the lake. Waxahachie, the creek, has the best burgers on the lake. Between Layport and Waxahachie, the best burgers on the lake, no doubt.
We'll call it Burger Row.
Yeah, Burger Creek. So, anyways, we'll get right to our guest this week, Luke. So, my friend Luke here, I guess my boat mechanic kind of helps me, and I do a lot of work myself. But friend, mechanic, compadre, whatever you want to call him. Luke, I mean, just briefly, I know you're mid-20s. You grew up y'all in Wilsonville. Then y'all grew up a little bit in South Carolina when your parents kind of moved back here to the lake and stuff. So you've been kind of around the Southeast a little bit in your life, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
Correct. So how long have you been back here, like living here full time?
I've been here since 2020.
2020.
Basically COVID.
COVID sent him back to Alabama. There we go.
So.
All right. So, I mean, I know a lot about you. I've been friends with you for a long time. So I'm going to back up and just, so where were you born at?
I was born in Wilsonville, in Alabama. Lived here for 1 year.
Oh, there you go.
One single year, and then moved up to South Carolina.
So you lived up there for what, about 17, 18 years, I guess, then, yeah.
Almost 20 years.
So what was like the difference in South Carolina to here as far as, let's take a boating angle. What was different with boating in South Carolina and boating here? Like if you're on lakes, no offshore stuff, obviously, but like what was different?
The lakes down there, they're a lot. We have a kind of a shoreline here with weeds. Up there, it's mostly dirt, and the shoreline's eroded away. And you don't need a boater's license in South Carolina.
What? You don't need a boater's license? Oh my God!
Oh my God! I should have moved there.
They still tell you no. So no boater's license in South Carolina, really?
No boater's license.
That's interesting. So where'd you live in South Carolina? What proximity? Where are you at?
I was outside of Charlotte, so it's kind of in South Carolina where the line comes straight down.
Yeah. So what lake was that y'all close to?
Lake Wiley.
Lake Wiley. Okay, I'm familiar with Lake Norman up there.
One's north.
Yeah, I think a bunch of big money NASCAR folks live on that. I had a friend back in the day that worked on the pit crews and used to go up there. Well, he lived up there, but they'd go up there and go out on Lake Norman. That's probably more like Lanier or Martin, probably, right?
It's a busy lake.
Yeah, kind of expensive. A lot of rich people. Yeah.
You want to feel poor?
So you're 24, I think. 25, maybe. Was it April, May?
I'll be 25.
So graduated when? Graduated high school when?
2018.
2018, and then I believe you went into a trade school, correct?
Yeah, I have a 2-year associate's degree in automotive science and technology is what they called it.
That's pretty similar to what I did. Pretty similar route. I did the similar stuff. So automotive degree, but you work on boats.
I work on boats.
So did you when you got the automotive degree and all that, was like your plan to go you're in South Carolina, was to go work on NHRA or NASCAR or boats? Like how did you go from doing that? Obviously it's motors, it's internal combustion, a lot of stuff similar. everything now is computerized. You know,
Yeah.
everything's got fuel injectors and coal packs and all that on the newer stuff. So like, how'd you go from like the boat stuff or the car education and then shift to boats? Like, how'd that shift happen?
Well, I worked on a small engine shop when I was up in South Carolina for since 2018. I worked up there, and I just kind of slowly transitioned from that. I started off with small outboards and just kind of worked my way up from there. Well, I've always serviced our boats and fixed them, but I was like, I like working on this way better than a car. They're easier to work on. The inboards are kind of not that fun, but I'm still young, so I can squeeze in there.
Yeah, I'm out on that. So I ain't got an inboard.
Yoga.
So I just kind of did it just because you enjoyed it more and all that, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more fun being out in the lake. I get to go out there every single day, which is
I think that's huge. Because I was a mechanic in the dealership world for over a decade. And yeah, going to work there, you're in the city, you're in this and that. So I could see the perk of like, well, I'm going to work. I'm going to get on my little. I think you've got a little runabout boat kind of thing. You run around. So I'm going to work on my boat. So I guess the commute's probably better.
Yeah, there's no traffic, especially on Lay Lake.
So you're not going down 280, right?
No.
Not doing that, or 459.
No
No 65 south. Beach traffic.
Nope. I miss all the beach traffic.
Yeah, that's good. So working on boats, you've been here since 2020. So when you moved here in 2020 with COVID hit or whatever, did COVID kind of spring you to move here, or just were your parents already here? What was going on with that? How'd you get here to here?
I actually came here before they did.
Really?
So this was just a lake house, and we used to come up here all the time since 2015. But I came up here just after COVID. It was probably 6 months after COVID hit, because up there was just insane. All the stores were locked down, and then when we came down here during COVID, the Piggly Wiggly was like a normal store. It was like, oh, I'm back to normal. So I just I can't stand being up there. I had to come back down here and get back to reality.
So Piggly Wiggly and Columbiana made you stay.
Yes,
that's good. That sounds good. Yeah. I'm pro Piggly Wiggly. I love that place. Yeah, that's crazy. That was so different there. I guess you're outside of Charlotte though, so
yeah, it's a little more up. I mean, people were a little more paranoid over it. There's a lot more population, and people were worried about it. But
so you got back down here. So I guess 2018 was high school. 2020 you come down here. So it was right when you graduated from automotive school.
Yeah.
Moved down here, and like, was your goal like, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to, start a boat business, or like what was your are you just like, I'm getting away from Charlotte, I want to go to Piggly Wiggly? What was your reason to like stay here?
So I got out of there for COVID, and then I just stayed down here, and then I met a bunch of people down here, and I was like, well, everyone's super. My neighbors in my neighborhood are the most friendly people ever.
Yeah.
Like I consider them like family.
Yeah.
And go over there all the time. And I was like, this is too nice. I can't leave this. So then I worked at a dealership for a year, and then started my own business after that.
Yeah.
So
when you started your own business, like, was it like was it just like you jumped straight into it, or were you doing it when you were at the dealership? And then like, what was the thought process? Like, were you nervous? I mean, you had to have a little anxiety about doing that, I would think.
I kind of faded in. So I still was at the dealership, and I'd do stuff on the weekends or when I got home. I'd work on stuff at my house, and it just kind of, I had enough to do where I was like, I could probably do this on my own and keep on going. And it just grew from there. And this year it's getting crazy now. So.
Yeah, you've been really busy. We were 2 weeks ago. We were down at the beach with you, and you had a little bit of work down there with some mutual friends we know. But you got a little people at the beach you had to work on the cars. Yeah, it has grown.
Yeah,
and you see on the boat club. I mean, everybody there's good mechanics down there. There's not just Luke, but you see on the boat club, and they post. One of the names that's always brought up is to call you. So a lot of people have used you and like you and respect you and appreciate your work. So I would agree. You've got a good reputation here. I'll give you that. Hey, you fixed my golf cart. Yeah.
I don't know how still.
Yeah, it's
apparently you're pretty good at woodwork too. I mean, you can take an accurate measurement and put in some screws. So that was great today. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we've been working today on. We had somebody donate us a trailer for the boat club to put all of our stuff in. We're kind of trying to outfit it, hold speakers and stuff like that, and totes for merch. So Luke was over helping us today, and I was like, "Well, hey, you want to go do the podcast?" And I think his first answer was some foreign language and no. It was like no. It's like, oh, come on, you can go down here and do it with us. So we did rope him into coming to it, even though
I'm shy and don't talk very much.
The ploy was oh Lord, here comes people entering. Here we go. There's only one. There's my neighbor coming in. You coming over here? Where you coming?
I just want to hear this awesome podcast you guys have.
Well, I don't know about awesome.
Have a seat.
Oh,
All right, he's coming
Actually
in.
see the game better this way.
Y'all are still up
Make
pretty.
Luke uncomfortable.
oh, Luke,
Y'all are pretty good.
my favorite mechanic.
So I guess let's get into like a little bit mechanic and stuff. So like we're spring. It's what is it? It's end of March now. Yeah, end of March, like March 30th today, I think. It's like what should people look for like every spring to make sure on their boat, because obviously we know boats. Everybody says bust out another 1,000, right? It's always this. And really, you think about it, it's people have boats. They use them 2 or 3 months a year.
Yep.
They run the crap out of them, and then they sit for 9 months a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of the reason why boats become expensive is because really they're neglecting. You got your Silverado or your Camry or whatever you got. You drive to work every day, man. You keep that thing up because you use it every day. But boats, for a lot of people, they're used recreationally for a real short amount of time. So like, what would you say like this, like going into spring and then like I guess going after summer, like what should you do for your boat to make sure you don't have to bust out another 1,000 all the time?
So in the springtime is most of the time you're gonna need it serviced, unless I do it in the fall. Winter when I winterize, we'll service the boat too.
Yeah.
And so spring, you should every year you should change your gear oil and your engine oil. That's once a year, because you can catch stuff if it is broken in your foot. You want to catch it before it does major damage. And then batteries. Biggest thing is people don't charge their batteries all winter.
Let them sit all night,
and they're completely dead. And they get there and go to crank up their boat and it doesn't start. And usually once the battery's dead, it's rare that they charge back up and actually hold their charge. They'll be dead the next time they go down there and it still won't run. So
yeah, so probably a good thing to think about is when you're going into that wintertime season with your boat, man, get you a trickle charger and put on that battery if it's sitting. That'd be a good thing.
A trickle charger is good. I mean, is that something that it is good for that? Just like the low 3 amp, 2 amp?
The little small ones, the little battery, I can't remember.
Battery tender.
The ones that's like a cube.
What's Nyko or something. There's a couple companies that make some nice ones
You
now.
can leave them on all winter like that, right?
Yeah, they just slow charge. So they don't actually charge until it drops and then they turn on. And it's such a low, I think it's 0.3 of an amp, so it's not very high. It's just enough to keep it full.
Yeah, so Powered by Luke, top tip. Put a battery charger on your boat in the wintertime when you're not using it. It keeps you from spending $200-300 on a battery. Because, I mean, batteries are not cheap anymore. They are ridiculously expensive.
The AGMs are out of this world.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to spend $200 is like entry level on a battery now for a boat. Probably they're really pricey. And I mean, and to piggyback on what he said about neglect, his dad just got a boat, a 2017 model recently, and I helped Luke. We were down at the beach, and he pulled the foot off, and it had a seal leaking.
Yep.
And he was doing that to put an impeller in, which is annually, every, I think, 3 years probably on an impeller or something like that.
Yeah, so impellers are going to be every 3.
Yeah, so he was servicing that because it was a used boat his dad got. And he got on the gear, where the seal goes in, or the shaft goes into the seal, it was leaking. You would never know that if you didn't do that preventative maintenance on it. And if you'd have let that go, you could have had water in your foot before the actual impeller croaked out. So I would recommend having your boat checked out so you don't have to bust out another 1,000.
Yeah, that'll save you a lot of money. Changing the gear oil is way cheaper than changing your whole foot.
Yep, I agree with that.
It's a much better solution than wait until it's way too late and you got to replace it.
So let's pivot a little bit. So obviously Luke, I mean, I think he's a great mechanic. I was a mechanic for years. I trust him with anything, with his electrical or mechanical or anything on a boat. I would trust him. He's helped me on stuff when I don't have time to do stuff. I would trust him. I want to pivot a little bit to get in a little more about who Luke is. Who is Luke? Who is Luke? So Luke, I do know this. You are one of 5 children to your parents.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad are phenomenal people. Your dad's a little crazy. Like him though.
Crazy.
So what was it like growing up? I mean, with 5 siblings. I think you're the middle or the.
So I'm almost the young. I have one younger brother.
Fourth of the 5. So what was it like growing up with? Was it 2 sisters, 3 brothers? I think.
2 brothers and 2 sisters.
I'll get something right in a minute. But what was that like growing up like that with that big of a family? I had 1 sister. I was a small family person. So what was it like with having that many siblings?
It wasn't really anything crazy. I mean, we always played outside, so it was like it was kind of fun though because you had your whole family. You didn't have to have like outside friends. You could just hang out with your family and do stuff. So we used to do crazy things when we were kids and jump bikes and all the
crazy. Crazy. What do you mean by crazy? I mean, I've seen a few videos and heard some stories about some super modified golf carts or go karts, I should say. I've seen. What about that when you're growing up?
Yeah. I wasn't that young when I did that. I was a teenager. But me and my little brother used to race go-karts with my buddies, and we took one of my buddy's neighbors had a cow pasture, and we took a section of it and built a nice little oval track and raced go-karts every Saturday for like 5 hours. We'd come home, we didn't have facial hair, but your whole face would be covered in dirt. It looked like you had a beard, even though you didn't. It was just so much fun. Get into so much trouble down there.
We should probably get a little go kart to go to that Skinny
Oh,
Pedal
yeah.
Speedway right down there in Shelby. We should probably get one of them going.
I would love to go down there
Yeah.
and race a couple times because I miss it. You know, it used to be every weekend thing.
I think we should probably get that going. What do you think?
I got to get one first.
Well,
So I have to ask though, while you were saying that, did you win a lot?
No.
Okay, so
No,
was
unless
this more about because it's like NASCAR and then Indy? Was it more about the driver or the car? What was the winning factor when y'all?
Oh, for us, I mean, it was definitely about the car. I mean, we had
more Indy.
we had go karts where we put 2 Predator 212s on one go kart. My go kart had a V twin 16 horse motor. We had one with a 420 cc Predator.
Yeah.
And we used to race them side by side, and whoever had the better power band. And one of the guys I raced with was a really good driver. He was like fearless. He'd run right in front of you. He didn't care.
he wasn't worried about flipping in the cow pasture.
No.
So we're gonna get a go kart and go racing down at Skinny Pedals. What I'm hearing right now. We got to get one.
I need to get one. I need to look on Marketplace and see what I can find.
I'm game on getting in on that. It'd be good. It'd be good for my back, right?
Yeah, it's real good. It's got air ride. There's air in the tires.
Yeah, there we go.
I like seeing a soapbox on your hill out there. That could be something.
Downhill derby or something.
They have a little go kart track going around here.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
That's
about.
90
We need to get them
99.
one. You know,
Yeah.
they just had a thing up there in the convention center in Columbiana where they did the rodeos. And we had something going on that night. I forgot what it was.
We sold shirts tickets at the.
That was Saturday, but there's somebody. We had dinner or something with somebody. But I wanted to go see that, but we didn't make it. Now,
Yeah, we went from there. We went next.
yeah. But my point is, we missed the darn indoor one. I hope they do that again because that looked really cool. All the videos and pictures. Man, it was great. What are you doing over there?
I didn't ring the bell because we had such a good conversation going. All right, I'll make it official. There you go.
He made time when we started because we were really bad at this.
I did.
Thanks.
15 minutes.
Oh, we got plenty of time left to make fun of Luke. You ready?
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started. So I guess, Luke, I said, we talked about your business earlier when we got off into fun stuff from high school and all that. So I guess, obviously, you're powered by Luke's, your business, you cell phone, all that. That's the best way to get in touch with you is cell phone, right? Or is it text, call, Facebook message? What's the best way to get in touch with you if they need something done for your boat?
It's call and if I don't answer, text.
Yeah.
And I usually try to call people back within an hour because a lot of times I'm out servicing someone's boat and my hands are covered in oil and I can't exactly get to my phone.
Yeah.
But I'm not ignoring you. I will call you back.
And he does have a South Carolina area code, I think, in your
Yeah,
phone.
it's
So don't be scared about it. I mean,
if you see
nowadays,
803, it's me.
yeah,
It's
nowadays,
not-
I mean, the area code is not a big deal. Like I remember back when I was younger, like, who's the crap is this now? Now with cell phone, yeah. Now, so he is the South Carolina area code. It's not a 205 or a 256 or what is our other one's 251, I think, right?
Yeah,
So it is. You said 803, right?
it's 803. It's
Yeah.
the
So he
first
does
three
have a
digits.
number that's not local to here, but he is local. You see him right here. He's sitting right here in Columbiana,
I'm here.
Shelby, Paradise Point, Alabama, right now. We're talking to us. So.
I like that Luke is he'll come to your boathouse on the lake and
Mm-hmm.
he can fix a lot of stuff. It's amazing. I think you fixed. What did you fix? The water pump? No, I had some.
You got a trim pump. Your trim on your motor is going
Yeah.
now, yeah. On a Honda, which everybody says is, Hondas are hard to work on. And all, yeah. Which is wrong. Hondas are great. I work there.
Didn't have to pull it out of the water or anything. Luke came to my dock.
I did have to pull yours out.
Oh, okay.
I did. I had to pull his out because I had to use a tractor to lift the motor up.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't trim at all.
But
Yeah.
you can't do a lot of stuff on the water, right?
Yeah, I can do most things on the water.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. I thought that was great. You really don't have to meet you somewhere and get the boat out on most of the maintenance,
Nope. Yeah, most of the maintenance stuff, as long as you have a boat lift and it goes high enough, I pull my boat right underneath it. And
So I guess, I said you got a Honda. I mean, I've got a Yamaha, and then I think your boat has a Suzuki. Yours is a Suzuki.
Mine's a Suzuki.
Brad and Jen's is a Mercury.
Yeah,
So everybody we know has got V's is a Mercury. Yeah. So that's 4 big brands. Like, can you work on all those brands? You know how to do it all? I mean,
I can work on all of them. So I have a scanner, code reader for Mercury, Suzuki, and Yamaha. So the only one I don't have is Honda. That's the only one I don't have
that is probably the lowest a quantity around here is Honda. Just my neighbor has one, you know. So you got a scan tool to look at all the diagnostics for Suzuki, Mercury, Yamaha. Good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you all the stuff, you can look at all your codes and all that.
Yep.
And like we said earlier, it's like a car, so they do have a good diagnostic system and all that with computer systems.
They'll read a lot of issues with like cam sensors and the usual stuff that you can't physically tell just by manually diagnosing it, I guess.
So let's get a little controversial here. You ready? So we'll throw Honda out of the window because it's a very small quantity. Well, what would you say is your top 3? Mercury, Suzuki, Yamaha. What's your top 3 as far as reliability? And what is your top 3 as far as a long-term ownership? What would be your top 3?
Low maintenance, maybe?
Yeah, reliability, low maintenance, and long-term ownership. What would be your top 3 motors that somebody should look for if they're looking for a new boat or to repower their boat?
It'd probably be... I've worked on a lot more Yamahas than Suzukis, so I don't know. I know how to service them and know how they're pretty easy. But as far as like the long-term reliability, they have people that use them in the ocean have had them for years and they say they're great, but I haven't had enough experience with older ones to say. So it's probably Yamaha, then Suzuki, then Mercury, because I have had a lot of issues with Mercuries, especially the computers. I don't know
So some
why.
electronic cup stuff, yeah.
Expensive stuff to fix. So.
And you probably shouldn't say it's easy to work on, because if it's easy to work on, they wouldn't be calling you to work on it.
Yeah.
You know, that means you're good at it. Not that it's easy. That means you're good at working on it. Because everything's easy when you know how to do it to an extent.
Is there a big difference on warranty work for the newer ones that are still under warranty as far as Yamaha, Suzuki, or Mercury? Is there like one that's more difficult than the other, or one that's easier than the other?
On warranty work?
Yeah, warranty work. I was just wondering.
Well, generally, I know Suzuki generally has a longer warranty span. I think.
Well, Yamaha used to have one.
Yamaha has a 3-year, but everyone's bumped theirs up, I think, now, because Suzuki's had 5-year for like 4 or 5 years now. They've had a 5-year warranty, which is the longest by far. And then Yamaha bumped theirs up with all these boat shows. They bumped it up to like a 7, I think. And so did Mercury bumped theirs up to a 5.
Yeah,
and I think Suzuki went up to a 7 to compete with Yamaha.
Yeah, I had to repower mine last year. I got a motor from Airport, and they had a promo.
Yeah,
and it was a 6-year on the Yamaha from that.
Yeah. But you won't have any issues out of it for 6 years.
Hey, that's why competition is great, right? I mean, they're all gives you a choice.
But you talk about something about warranty work, right? You generally, when you do warranty work, you go back to the person that bought it from you, because obviously
because you have to pay me. I can't do warranty.
Yeah, you're not a dealer, right? But a lot of people make questions and say, so, but I want a certified mechanic or this, that, and the other. Well, I mean, I was in this industry for a long time, automotive side. Like, certifications are great, and they give you they kind of prove you know what you're doing. But if you don't have some certification, doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing.
No.
Because certification, they're not cheap. Like, you're gonna get a certification for a manufacturer, it may cost you several $1,000s to go to this class, even if you're independent. Whereas if you're at a dealership, they send you. So there's a lot of questions about that. And the one thing I like to say to a lot of people understand this is, like, your warranty is still valid, even if Luke or Chris or Michael service your boat. Like, your warranty can't dictate who services your boat to keep it in warranty. So I said there's been questions about that, I think, on the boat club, and because people, they just don't know, and it's kind of different. Like, people are used to cars and boats. They're kind of similar.
A lot of dealerships will tell people that they can't, like, if you service the boat even yourself, as long as you have a receipt proving that you bought the oil, and I'll give you a receipt for when I service it, they know it's been done. They can't deny your warranty. It doesn't work like that. It's just like a car. If you bought a car, unless they give you a free oil change or multiple free oil changes, they can't make you go back. If they're charging you for it, they can't make you go back.
So you
Yeah.
have to use OEM oil or parts or
Yes, so
spark
you will
plugs.
have to use, and all I use is OEM. I don't use
Yep.
any of the. If it's a Suzuki, I use Suzuki. If it's Yamaha, it's Yamaha, and if it's Mercury, it's Mercury. I do not use the no-name Sierra and kind
Yeah.
of lesser-known parts that are.
So, like,
just-
the question is, I know the answer to this, but people watching me know. So, why would you not want to use a cheaper part, a non-OEM part? Obviously, you're going to save a decent amount of money if I'm say this. My starter goes out on my boat. Why would I not want to buy an aftermarket as opposed to an OEM?
Well, the main thing is they're gonna have what I find is your OEM, like let's say a starter for instance, it lasts probably 10 years in a boat and it finally fails. Well, you're gonna buy that cheaper starter, and guess what? It's only gonna last you 1 year because the machine work in it is not nearly as good as the OEM. You buy another OEM starter and you have another 10 years, if not more, out of it.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. My dealership experience back in the day is you get to like that 7, 8, 9, 10 year mark and something breaks. Well, I want to fix it cheap. It's like, well,
Yeah.
let's think about this for a minute. This lasted 10 years.
And then you gotta
Let's
pay
get
the
another
work.
one on there that's going to last
Then
10
you got to
years.
pay to install it again.
Yep.
By that time, you
It's
already-
worth the extra
There
money
you go.
to go with the OEM.
Yeah, so I would be mine if you're
downtime, if you don't have anybody to work on it.
Yeah.
if you're working on a car or boat or I mean anything, even probably your air conditioning at your house, I would say buy an OEM part because it lasted that long is probably the smart route to go. And he just said he won't put no cheap stuff on there on your stuff on your vehicle or your boat. Sorry.
Nope, it's all OEM unless they discontinued the parts, which I have ran into before, but that's very rare. And
Yeah.
if they did discontinued, I will find the best reasonable aftermarket one that they make. So
Mine is over 10 years old. That's one of the things. That's one of them.
Really?
Yeah, they just when they don't and that one, unless you can find the actual parts in stock, then Honda like stop servicing their engines after 10 years. They don't have like.
well, there's a thing in there that they can discontinue. I think he's saying where they discontinue manufacturing because they only have to make it for 10 years
Yeah.
after the vehicle goes out of production. But a lot of times they keep producing. Like Yamaha doesn't change their motors very often, so I mean you could have a 2006 Yamaha and it's the same as a 2020 Yamaha. And
It
your
ain't
part's
broke.
not going to be discontinued for a long
It
time.
ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Same with Honda. It's going to last for years. They don't change their stuff very often.
So what's your so is a boat mechanic, etc. What is like what kind of warranty you provide for when you do stuff?
So I usually do. It depends on what it is.
Okay.
So usually I do like a year warranty on pretty much anything because it should
Okay.
last at least that long, other than your consumable parts.
Yeah, oil
Yeah.
and oil
Yeah.
filters and fuel filters and all spark, that kind of, well, spark
Yeah.
plugs last longer, but yeah, all that kind of stuff, no warranty. But like if you're doing,
Yeah, if I replace a trim pump, I will warranty it for at least 1 year.
yeah,
It shouldn't break,
Yeah.
anyways.
That's
Because I only use the real ones, so
Yeah.
you won't have an issue out of it for probably 7 or 8 years, in the future.
okay.
So,
my question: the water pump in it.
yeah.
How often should you change it out? Because I've been left on. water
I'm making a
before.
guess.
3 years.
3
2?
years.
I was saying 2. Okay, so
So it's-
every 3 years.
So for most people, I mean, unless you drive your boat every single day, you're not going to put 300 hours on it in 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's every 3 years. for
And that
most
kind of
people.
is that kind of across the board, outboard and inboard, right? Both kind of the same.
Yeah, so an inboard, the impeller should last about 3 years. I've seen them, they'll last longer than that. Like you can get 5 before they start coming apart, but it's best practice to change it at 3 years so you don't have to worry about it. Getting stuck out in the lake with no water pumping through your motor.
The good part is you can post on the boat club and somebody
Yeah,
can get
somebody
you
will
and tow
come
you
tow
back.
you.
Then you're still going to call a mechanic or Luke or somebody to fix it. But yeah, luckily here you get a little help if you do break down.
Yeah.
And the winterization. I mean, like a jet ski or an outboard or an inboard. They're all.
Well, wait a minute. We haven't even talked about that.
They're all a
So
little different, right? So for years I didn't know about a jet ski because I never had one, and I was like, do I winterize it? Do I not? And then you read it online, and it's some
Mixed
people say
reviews.
yes, and some people say no. So you may be able to help us out with that. Yeah, I'm kind of quiet.
You're
we're
the
good.
quiet- you're
we're
the
good.
quiet talker.
Maybe they won't hear me. That'd be better.
All right. I just wanted to bring that up because I had that question.
Yeah, we have.
You know,
Yeah, you do our jet ski, so yeah, that's a good.
I mean,
that's
there's two parts to that. One, we've been talking about outboard motors,
Yeah.
and inboards, and we talk about jet skis. So, like, as far as
The
I guess I know Luke can service jet skis, obviously, but like, what's the difference in like when you're servicing a jet ski, what to do versus an inboard, outboard, a boat.
Yeah.
What do you look for on your jet ski compared to that?
So for winterizing, so you're going to, winterizing, you're just going to run antifreeze through your jet skis. And then for servicing, your parts on the jet ski are only going to be spark plugs and oil. And that oil needs to be done every year. The spark plugs every 3.
And filter, oil and filter. You got to make sure.
Yeah, and filter. I always replace oil filter. I'm not doing it without.
I know you won't, but like some people don't think about the
Yeah,
there is a
yeah,
filter
and-
fault, so you got to
yes.
when you do that, you do just like your car. Just
Yeah.
like your car. It's a
So-
package deal, I guess.
And
So,
then-
so you winterize your jet skis. You got to make sure there's water in them because it gets cold. Because jet skis either they sit on the trailer or floating docks or something like that. And even, I mean, we talked about boats being used 3 months, so your jet skis maybe even less because
Yeah.
you're not going to ride. We'll go out in the wintertime with jackets on our pontoon
Yeah.
boats or wake
Yeah.
boats or
Not
whatever.
jet
We're not
ski.
going on a jet ski.
Well,
in the
outboard
wintertime.
fishing boats. Those guys
Yeah,
fish
yeah,
all year,
yeah.
so that's a big. That's
Hell, there was a guy fishing 2 weeks ago during all the tornadoes out in front of your house.
Dude,
Like they're fishing.
there was.
Yeah.
I was like, I
Really?
think there's a tornado and there's a guy fishing. I mean, those guys are die hard.
So look, if you pull the jet ski out, generally you need to still winterize it, or
Yes, even if you pull it out of the water, because you're never going to get all the water out of the block. So
Okay.
it's best practice. Just antifreeze is cheap. And I only charge $100 to do it.
Antifreeze is cheap. Engines are not.
Yes.
What about putting like when it's gonna be a hard freeze? Like when what do you consider hard freeze? 28 degrees, 29, 30, below 30 for several days.
So it's really most of the time a hard freeze. Like you're not going to crack an engine block if it's like 2 hours. It takes probably 5+ hours before you're starting to worry about inside of your motor freezing, because when you compress water, it raises the freezing point, or I guess lowers it. It takes a lower temperature for it to freeze. So
my question is, when I see that coming, my boat's on a lift.
Yeah.
Okay, not everybody has this, but my boat is on a lift. Okay, so my foot's always straight down. It drains as much as it can, but I literally drop my entire foot underneath the surface of the water.
yeah, so you don't have to drop your foot all the way in the water.
now we're talking about an outboard. now,
Yes,
right?
this is
This
an
is I'm
outboard.
talking strictly outboard.
Okay,
So
so it was
for
jump.
people that have outboards, I'm talking from that standpoint.
Okay, so
I've
yeah,
never
that's
had
a
my
great
foot
question.
freeze. Am I doing the right thing?
So it doesn't matter. A lot of people keep their boats floating in the water. The biggest thing with outboards is make sure it's trimmed all the way down. All the way down. Not trimmed up, trimmed in the water, or if it's on a boat lift, trimmed all the way down. You don't have to leave it in the water because all the water is going to drain out of it. You're not going to have to worry about
So
anything
really,
cracking.
winterization,
Okay, good.
as long as you do those things and the temperature's cold, you'll
Yeah.
be fine. You're not running antifreeze or anything in an outboard.
No, outboards are
Phew.
outboards are no antifreeze. So you just, as long as they're trimmed all the way down, you can. I mean, you guys went out in the snow on your boat, so
It's a good time. And it didn't break. It didn't freeze. We're good to go.
No.
Right?
as long as it's trimmed all the way down, they don't ever do that. You take it out midwinter, and when you park
So you
it,
got,
make
you got
sure
a
it's
little
all the way
bit more
down.
grace with the outboards than you do with the jet skis or the inboards.
Yep.
The wake boats and the chaparrals and the cobalts and all that.
Yeah.
Those you really got to worry about a little bit more about the winterization, right?
Yeah, because the water stays in the motor, whereas your outboards, all of it drains down through the bottom. So you're basically, I mean, as long as once you shut it off, if it's trimmed all the way down, all the water drains automatically. So you can use it year round. Yeah, whereas your ski boats, once you winterize it, you're kind of done until you know it's not going to freeze again.
Yeah, that's right.
So
All right. Well, that makes me feel.
All right, let's
Thanks for
let's
pointing
kick
that
off the technical stuff here, right? Let's go back to Luke here. We're talking about how he knows what to do, knows the maintenance, knows all this, right? So what are Luke's hobbies? What does Luke like doing? Let's get to Luke a little bit.
and my hobbies,
What's your hobbies?
and I don't know if I really have any.
Oh, you gotta have some. What do you like doing? I mean, what's your favorite Netflix show? Do you like grape gummy bears or like peach ones? I mean, like, what about you? Come on, let's say something about.
It's actually the gummy sharks at DG.
a Dollar General gummy,
Yeah.
a gummy shark.
The gummy sharks.
I don't know what those are, but I'll take your
They're
word.
upside the peach rings.
Oh, there we go. So you like eating gummy sharks while you're
Yeah.
riding around on your boat going to service somebody else's boat.
Yeah. No. I guess some of my hobbies, I don't know. Probably going and watching random races, like going to the dirt track on Saturday night, or going to Talladega, or And now we have a drag strip in Clanton again, so I'd probably go
Oh, that's
there.
right. That's right. Bought that and is it back open?
It's back open.
I did see somebody. It's been some time back. Got it and was redoing it. Okay.
Yeah, so it's open
So
again.
anything I guess that burns petroleum and goes.
Yes.
You're kind of into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not too much of a Tesla guy then. I don't guess.
No electric cars
No electric
for me.
cars. What about electric golf carts? You got the.
They're good, but not for me.
Not
I like
for you.
to,
Not
I like
for
to
you.
make noise. I'm not about quiet things.
See, they were getting somewhere. So you like gummy bears from Dollar General and loud cars, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. So, okay, well, let's think here. We got any more questions for Luke? What do you think?
Well, I got one, and
Chris does. We'll stand by.
we're at 30. Luke has offered to do something for the boat club here soon, and I don't know if that would be.
He did do that. Yeah, we want to talk about that because this is Sunday. We're recording this. We're going to release it on Thursday. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you want?
We're talking about
You,
the halfway to the dam.
Yeah, so the halfway to the
Halfway.
Dam Jam coming up, which is the concert we've done for 2 years now, actually at Chris's house.
2 or 3.
This is the third year. We've done it for 2.
This will be
the
yeah.
third.
Okay. Yeah. This,
Hell, it could be the 4th. We may get told it wrong. at
I
some
may have
point.
forgot about one. I don't know.
So Luke, Powered by Luke, is sponsoring this year. There's going to be 3, 4, 5 bands. We're still working on a little bit of that. He's going to sponsor the whole concert coming up.
Yep.
So it's halfway to the Dam Jam. We have not named it that till this year. That's a new name we come up with because literally your house is like the dead center between Lay Dam and Logan Martin Dam, right there in Bully Creek. Not Bully Creek, Dry Branch. Sorry,
Dry Branch. Don't confuse people.
Just north of Bully. Sorry. So that's why I got the name halfway to the Dam Jam. And Luke is going to sponsor this year.
Yep. So
That's all.
should be a good concert.
Yeah.
It's good, and it has a cool name now.
Yeah.
Halfway to the Damn
Yeah.
Jam, powered by Luke.
There you go.
All right. Now
Yeah,
he's,
well,
it's not the electrical power, but it's
Yeah.
all the musical power, I guess, is what he's doing. So thank you for that, man. That's awesome. Did I hit your mic? I didn't mean to.
Luke will not be tuning sound that day. It'll probably be me, so it may be bad. We'll see.
It's
And
not
the
me.
stage is not powered yet. Maybe one day we could be powered by Luke.
Heck yeah.
But like I said, he sponsored that. It's going to cover all the bands and stuff for that day. So I really appreciate him doing that. Really great for I guess a small business is growing into a bigger one down here to do
Yeah.
that. So yeah, we're doing that.
Mm-hmm. We're good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, I would.
Hey, y'all can let Luke, if he's got anything he want to finish off with.
No, I think that's
You want to talk to any of the single ladies out there while you're on?
no. I'm not.
Your dad told me to ask you that. So.
Of course he did. Of course he did. I guess the only thing I could talk about is the Lay Lake boat cleanup, home boaters association.
Yeah.
The Hobo Boat Camp's coming up soon. Yeah, your dad's big in that.
So we'll be posting about when they're gonna. I guess we'll get catering food and stuff. I'm also sponsoring that.
Okay, there you
So
go. Yeah, your sponsor. That's
That's
going to
great.
be, when is that
I think it's April 4th. I could be wrong though.
yeah, 4th or 5th weekend. I think it's somewhere in that range. I think it's the
I think the 12th.
12th. It's the weekend. We're doing ticket sales for the boat giveaway next weekend, the 5th at Wayport.
Okay.
I
So
think
it's
the
the
next
12th.
weekend, the 12th, is the Hobo
Yeah.
cleanup they do every year. Yeah, so look for that. Yeah, it's great to do. I mean, obviously, I live down here. We pick up stuff every time we see it on the water, but it's real good to get it's everybody on a big focus for the day to clean up because I mean, people are damn nasty. They throw crap in the water, stuff.
It's not everybody's fault though. You have one storm and people forget that they've got
Yeah.
stuff on their dock
Yeah.
and things like that. And a trash can on my dock that I was putting all the trash in it, but you forget that a good wind and it all goes
Blows
in
it.
there.
Yeah.
We don't do it on purpose. We clean up, but things happen. We get it, but we all work together as a community to keep our lake clean. And I appreciate you sponsoring that.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
awesome.
big one. Yeah, it's big to do that, especially right there in springtime. Get it out of the way and help out before everybody gets down there. You don't want to come there in the middle of Memorial Day weekend to come over to the halfway of the Dam Jam. Hitting Coke bottles and
Yeah.
Powerade bottles in the water or
Oh.
something.
Porch furniture, old people,
Yeah.
everything's floating in the water.
Yeah.
So,
Old people.
Plastic bags.
You idiot.
well, I'm old people. That's why I can say it.
Oh, speaking of plastic bags, yeah, I bought Amelia Wave Runner last fall, and second time you took it out, she's running through Cedar Creek in the middle of the lake, plastic bags sucked
Yeah.
up in the jet. So
That'll stop it.
That's a
Yeah.
fun day.
Yeah.
So.
Wasn't mine. Had it. It wasn't good.
Chris is more of a paper guy than plastic.
Yeah.
See it.
I recycle.
All right, I guess we've been about 30 minutes now. Is that about right?
We're almost 40, I think, at this point.
Oh, shit. Good Lord. They're going to
You're
stop
making
We
Much
got
watching.
two
long.
motorheads talking.
They're
That's
gonna
what's
stop
definitely
watching.
gonna last.
They'll click off as soon as they see the first.
Chris is here again.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I had to be able to watch the game. This is
Y'all are smoking.
Auburn's
right now,
still
about 12
winning?
at the moment. Y'all got this. Up by 13. Free throw hit. 3:37 to go. Auburn's going to go to the Final Four. My team, Bama, didn't go. They got kicked pretty hard by Duke last night.
Hey, thank you for being here, brother. And
Yeah,
thank you
thanks
for
for having me.
Yeah, thank you for working on my boat, and thank you for all the
Where's
stuff
that
you do for me.
Where's that Sharpie
Yeah.
at? I'll find the Sharpie.
Oh, yeah, you
I
got
already
sign it.
signed. I already signed
Oh,
the
you
one
done got
from
it
last
already?
time. See, it's from the other week.
You got to know
Scribble.
this is your podcast. Though.
Yeah,
got
you
know
can
this
write
is
a
your
times
content.
2 on there. You can do like something.
Put the date on. So, hey, appreciate everybody watching off the cleat. We went a little long again. I'm sorry. We got some good audience members and people walking in, namely Michael. And Chris is here for the. We've done 6 of these. He's
10,000th
been here for
time.
5 of them, so I guess he's now the staple of this. But thanks for watching. Powered by Luke, sponsoring the Halfway to the Dam Jam coming up. Sponsoring Lay Lake Boat Club Cleanup with Lay Lake Hobos, I believe. And if you need your boat worked on, jet ski, inboard, outboard, just hit him up. He's a good guy, a good friend. Golf cart, yeah. Well, man, this time of year he's a little busy. The golf cart, he's forward there. Actually, I had him fix my golf cart, and he fixed my forward there. I was.
That's wintertime projects.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I mean, I had the ability to do it. I know how to do all this stuff, but I didn't have time. So I was like, you know what? I trust this guy. So he's fixed several things of mine just because I trust him to do it. So hit him up if you need something worked on. It is a South Carolina area code, so it may be a little weird to you. But I'll tell you this: he's a good guy. He's honest. He stands behind what he does. He's a great friend of mine. And I'm happy to have him down here at the lake because honestly, it's whether it's boat mechanics, car mechanics, anything, it's hard to find somebody that's honest and reputable and stands behind what they do and also knows what they're doing. So I appreciate him doing this for our lake community and helping everybody out because the fun part of the lake, your boat needs to be running. You got to be out there and hanging out with your people. And Powered by Luke will keep it running. So I appreciate it, Luke. I'll find you a Sharpie to sign the wall for your official podcast.
You're going to be the only person that signs it twice.
Not this.
I'll be the first.
You've been here for
Chris,
you can't sign it because your face is up there. But I'll get you a Sharpie. I'll cut this off right now, and we'll get going. Here's the Sharpie I found here. Sign your name up there. Put whatever next Thursday's date is. So love you,
Look
Luke.
on the
It's been
calendar.
good.
I can't remember.
I made you talk more than your parents thought you would. So
Yeah, they'll be impressed.
They're going to be mad. They're going to be mad when they pick up
April 3rd.
April 3rd. Wow.
April
4-3.
There we go. 4-3. Let's get him signing
Where
it.
So it's your last
Just
one.
put another date.
Where we
Yeah,
signing?
that's what the podcast is. Yeah, sign it wherever, man.
I mean,
It don't
you can come
matter.
out, but I
Should I-
actually want to finish.
Should I merge it with his?
I got plenty of bricks. Keep signing.
I came out here to pee, and there's more women out here.